Yankee, tower surveillance service terminated, change starting frequency.
Romeo Yankee. There we go, so we're free of the zone, and I know where we are. This is going to be our next point, but there's Mary Hill, so I'm going to start my timer. Laura, more likely, actually. Okay. And we're going to do a 10-mile mark? Yeah. Okay. And we just started the timer now? Just started the timer now. Perfect. My landmark was Mary Hill, so it's going to be about 10 miles, give or take, to Laura. So just as we exit the zone, you start the timer? Correct. Okay. And we'll switch frequencies. There's that power line. There's that tower. So we're pretty good for our track, actually. Elmira's over there. Alright, traffic helicopter Foxtrot Romeo Sierra Yankee about 4 miles to the northwest of Mary Hill, northbound towards Wyerton. Foxtrot Romeo Sierra Yankee, 2,200 feet northbound towards Wyerton. It's not Elora, and Elora is the town I care about right now. So Elora is just up there. So when we're adjacent to it, I'm actually going to hold our course a little bit further to the right. And Elora is going to be our 10-mile marker? That's correct. Okay. Lights are out, gauge is green, fuel's good. And this river leads us right to the Elora Gorge. Now this is the pinch we're flying over right now. I'm waiting for that road ahead of us, which is adjacent to Elora. That's where I'm going to start my 10-mile marker. That's right over 70, which is where we got to be. And those wind turbine farms are leading me directly down my track, so I'm going to correct my heading further west. Okay, perfect. So you can use the wind turbines as a directional heading. Exactly.
mile marker.
Okay, perfect. This one right ahead of us, which is adjacent to Aurora, which is that way, to our east. Timer stop. 5 minutes and 50 seconds to go 10 miles. Perfect. So we're almost about 6 minutes, which should be about 90 to 100 knots. Which means we're going to be doing that for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 more minutes. So our ETA should be give or take 1240. 1240, okay. Excellent. And then currently our time is, currently it is 12:05. Excellent. Looks great. Okay, so pick a known location and we'll start doing an orbit and we'll do a diversion. So get established in your orbit, and then I'll mark a spot out for you. Okay. Left-hand orbit, right-hand orbit, whichever you feel comfortable with. And generally, we like to say orbit is more comfortable at about 70, 75 knots. Okay. A little bit easier to control your altitude, airspeed. So directional heading. Slow down and start a left-hand orbit. Okay, so just get set up in that orbit, watching your altitude. If you want to switch altitudes, just let the instructor know. I'd like to switch to 2400, sure. And then that'll be a good pilot decision making. Okay, let's go to Listwall. Listwall. Just keep my orbit in here, 2,300 feet, 75 knots. Okay, just take your time, you got nothing but time. So we just crossed that, Riverson Field. So we're gonna go to the... Let's not let ourselves descend too much here. So that's gonna be, what is that? North, it's gonna be 300. Give or take, going to Listwell, which is there. That's going to be 10, 20, 25 miles from our current location, give or take. And it's going to be 330 from this heading. So, there's a lake over there I can use. That is Bellwood Lake, north of Elmira. Oh no, sorry, not Bellwood Lake. It is a dammed lake north of Elmira though, so I know where we are. Alright then, so I'm going to use that as my marker. We're going to look for Conestoga Lake on the way there. 330, 2300 is our orbit, height, 75 knots, and I think I'm ready to make this diversion. So I'm just going to do my one big loop here, and we're going to go towards that lake and start towards Listwell. Alright, so we did circle, circle line, heading distance time. For distance, like I said, 25 miles, we'll do that with our current speed. If we assume we're heading around that 90 to 100 knots, we'll do that in... 15. Okay, yep. So is it going to be 15? 15 minutes? 10, 12. 280 is our current heading, and we'll adjust as needed as we go.
280, okay.
And I'll just up the power.
So we have our heading, we have our distance, which is 25 miles, correct?
Give or take.
And our time, which is just shy of 15 minutes at 100 knots. So what's our current time?
So we should have an arrival there at 12:20, let's say 12:22 or so.
12:22? And current time is?
Current time is 12:08.
12:08? And you can also do is, we can push this timer on the dash, and that can be also help us out.
We're going the right direction. We're going towards Conestoga Lake. We're going to hold northwest. So I'm going to adjust a little bit actually. Let's make it more, my direction indicator is not correct anymore. Let's adjust that. I didn't do that quite right either. There.
And then if you want to make an altitude change, then you can always just let the instructor know I'm going to climb up to 24, climb down to 21, whatever kind of feels comfortable during a flight test. You just want to let the instructor know.
Yeah. Surface height does increase a little bit here around the dam, but it then drops off. So I'm going to hold at 2300 for the time being. And I'm going to make an en route call as we depart.
Okay.
Traffic helicopter Foxtrot Romeo Sierra Yankee about 4 miles to the northeast of Elmira, westbound in the direction of Listowel, 3 miles to the northeast of Elmira, 2,400 feet for Foxtrot Romeo Sierra Yankee on traffic. Now for other landmarks I can look for, there's a set of power lines coming up. Should be, actually we're overflying it right now. Or we're overflying a set of power lines. They're going more to the northwest as opposed to us going west, but we're overflying them right now, so we know where we are. Glen Allen is going to be right ahead of us. So I think I may have messed up my heading a little bit. I'm going to correct my heading a little bit to 290. We've descended quite a lot. What altitude do you want to hold? I wanted to keep keep it at 2300, and then I stopped paying attention as I was too close to my map, thinking I had made an error.
Okay.
So,
okay, that's why we're kind of out here, just sort of seeing how it all works out.
yeah.
And again, there's a lot of things to do all at once, right?
And what I would really like to find is Conestoga Lake, because that would be a nice big landmark I can base my future endeavors on.
Yeah. Is Conestoga Lake about halfway?
Yes, around that.
Okay, so if we're about halfway, then we're about 5 minutes in so far, so maybe in about 2-3 minutes we should see it. Do you know what town that is right there?
I believe this is Glen Allen.
Glen Allen?
Still 290. I'm thinking I may have gone quite a bit too far south and west, because Conestoga Lake might be that one to my east now. So I may want to correct quite a bit north. I'm realizing I'm thinking that's more Millbank than Glen Allen.
Okay.
And Conestoga Lake is up there to my east, yeah. So in that case, then we're going to hold 330 degrees. Actually, I'm going to go even a little bit further than that. We'll go pretty much northbound. Or 340. And that would be Milverton probably to my west. Yeah, so there's Conestoga Lake and the wind farms past it on the east side. So yeah, this is my correction.
Okay. And we're on almost a direct heading right now to
Listowel.
Listowel? Okay.
Yeah. Back to 2,200 feet. And yeah, that's Conestoga Lake. All right. So I'm going to amend my heading here. If we are where we think we are, we're about 10 miles out, so give it about 6 minutes. Okay, we'll still call it 12:25. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing where we are now. So we're on the south end of Conestoga Lake. It's up there, so we're right in this area, pointing to the map here. There should be a tower, 600-foot tower, or sorry, not 600, 300-foot tower, my bad. Somewhere on our route, but I believe that's Listowel ahead of us now. I'm going to adjust my heading as opposed to 340, going to go kind of like 335, 330, 340 between the two. So I think what happened there was that I got my heading wrong when I tried to estimate it using my my pencil.
Also keeping in mind the wind is out of the north, so it would have naturally pushed us to the south.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
So it could have been a combination of the two. Could have been a little bit of a misdirection on the compass and a little bit of that north wind pushing us to the south.
So list well, I'm going to correct my heading 330. I'm going towards that large water tower, which is list well. If I kept going that direction, I would eventually intercept it. So here we go. So list well is pretty much dead ahead of us now, 330. Holding 2,200 feet. Unfortunately, all the country roads out here aren't a grid, so once you find the grid and you find your spot in the grid, then you can more or less figure it out.
Right.
But, yeah. And Conestoga is behind us pretty well. Very good. So this is Listowel pretty much dead ahead of us now.
And we're at 12 minutes right now, so almost bang on between that 12 to 15 minute mark of what you anticipated.
Yeah, even though I did go off my track a little bit.
So again, for the flight test, we're going to get closer to Listowel, and then Nick or the instructor, whoever's doing your flight test, will say, are you sure that's your spot? And you say yes or no, or hypothetically yes. And then basically it's make or break. So it's either Listowel or you have to go back and redo the flight test.
Right. There's a couple windy rivers that identified as Listowel. This one in particular underneath us right now, crossing these main roads. Looking for some of the towers that would also identify it. There's one of them right over there, just a little bit to the northwest. Railroad cutting into Listowel. So 12:25, our ETA more or less worked out. It's going to be another minute until we're overflying Listowel.
All right. And you are 100% sure that is our diversion spot?
I'm 100% sure.
Okay.